Well, at first it was kind of like, it was unreal, you know, because I am a little grandma that lives on a little tiny farm in little tiny Bunkerville, Nevada. And I really we didn't expect this. It was kind of like unreal that it wasn't really happening in our country, in America, that this really couldn't be happening. And they came in like vigilante, vigilante. I'm saying it. Thank you. And they just came in and they tore out water structures that had been there for hundreds of years. They killed my cattle. They terrorized the people of the town, and then flipped it around saying that we had done that. They were just totally out of control. I say we embarrassed the federal government because they had come with force, and we said, no, we have a constitutional right to stand, and we are going to stand. We had a lot of people calling and saying, what can we do, what can we do? And we realized that we needed some bodies. And so when they arrested my son, and they had over 300 head of cattle, that's when we put out, they have my son, they have my cows. It's time to take a stand. I've had a restless night for 2 months.
Since trial started.
Since trial started, as I've sat there and watched in my opinion, the evil of that court. It's an overreaching government who does not want anybody to speak out. They're on a roll and they've got control, and they don't want to lose their job. They'll say, we're just doing our job. That's what they'll tell me. We're just doing our job. I still have faith in the jury system, and I think that they're very lucky that they have a good jury. They would not let us bring our witnesses in that they needed. She told them if the witnesses came that it was an ongoing case and that they better have their lawyer with them and be prepared to walk out in handcuffs. Well, you know, up in Oregon when my sons got not guilty up there, they came back down, they says, oh, they've learned a lot. And I just look at them and say, so did we. Mm-hmm. So did we. We've learned a lot too. I think when you stand for truth and righteousness, you stand with God. Mm-hmm. And that's where we stand. It's in His hands.
We are a people who enjoy and love freedom.
The federal government says that Cliven Bundy's cows are trespassing.
This is not federal land, that this is state land.
His family insists that Nevada rightfully owns the land that they've been using since the late 1870s.
It's our land as citizens, that's why it's called public land. Public land is for use by the public.
Every major problem that this country is faced with, you could tie it back to an overreaching federal government.
For 21 years, the Nevada rancher has refused to pay grazing fees and has ignored court orders to remove his cattle.
Enforced grazing fees is just trying to extort him for more money. If he's already paying his taxes, which pay for the land, I don't see that they have the right to enforce more grazing fees on him.
In early April, a showdown occurred near Mesquite.
All the federal government came in here and locked down the land and started gathering cattle.
Nobody came out here for violence. Nobody wanted a standoff. The reason we came out here armed was to protect the protesters that were out here.
Federal officials ordered the agents to stand down to avoid a potential armed conflict.
We opposed them the best way we can, got as many people as we can together, and run them out of here. Some situations, one on where the compound was, where that federal military base was, if you will. Right now, there's not one BLM person in it still. And there hasn't been since we brought them out.
Now, the Bundys await the federal government's next move.
I'm not worried about anything. Whatever happens, happens. I know that we did what's right. We did what we were supposed to do. And we know who is in the wrong. So if we have to pay a price for that, we pay a price for that. You know, we were here long before the BLM was even thought of. So, and our rights are preemptive from that time. So.
For azcentral.com, I'm Michael Chow.
Okay, guys, you won't believe it. You won't believe it, guys. You won't believe it. They let all 4 of them out tonight. Woo! You won't believe it, guys. All 4 of them got out. Woo! All 4 of them are out tonight. Eric Parker. Woo! Woo! All 4 of them just got released here, guys, from Henderson, Nevada. They let Eric out tonight. No halfway house right now. Woo! It was a surprise. We didn't even know. All 4 of them just walked out surprised. Woo! Let me give you a hug, brother. Hey. Woo!
Oh, what a day, huh?
It is a day.
What a day.
Woo! Let's come over here and see. That's Scott Drexler out 2 tonight. All 4 of them, guys. They surprised us, guys, and let all 4 of them out tonight. They were steaming, man. I don't want to come. Thanks for the right to jury trial. Hello there, brother. Oh my! Oh, I love you, brother. So good to see you out here. Oh,
Lord, you so much. You know, there's a whole lot of times where you just feel so weak.
I know.
And you guys kept us strong. Big
Oh, John, you've seen them walking from John!
They're all out.
Oh,
That was a surprise.
Oh my goodness, all 4 of our boys.
Let's come over here. Good to see you, brother. Everybody's stealing Andrea's hugs. Oh, good to see you. Oh, you're my hero.
Oh, you guys are my heroes. Kept me going.
Underneath the American
Kept me going. Appreciate you. We're all stealing Andrea's hugs right now.
Fight's not over.
No, this fight is just starting.
After 18 months plus, guys, these guys are out of jail. Eric Parker out of jail tonight. They went ahead and let him out, released him. Scott Drexler's out. Stephen Stewart and Ricky Loveland. Woo! On the outside.
Underneath the American flag.
No, they should just go in the hug center. Just go in the hug center.
Underneath the American flag.
Hey, Eric. Oh, okay, go. Hey, I think we need to do a prayer with these guys.
Amen.
We need to thank the Lord for bringing these guys.
Amen.
But it actually might be left.
All right, everybody.
Let's give praise to God together. Come on. Yes. Let's get it all together. Let's pray together, guys. Yes. Woo. I didn't get my
Yes, big time. Love you, brother.
Come on, guys. We got to offer up some praise. prayers of faith.
Thank you, Jesus.
Let's all come together. Let's have a prayer. Eric, lead us in prayer. Okay, yes, Eric. Thank you.
I'll call you later.
Wow, this is so unreal to see. What a surprise to see all 4 of you walk out. All of you are out. And we were cheering. Do you guys want to ride with us to the hospital? And then the other limo will
I do.
and then we will continue on after that.
And it's wherever you want to go. Everywhere but the bordello.
You can go there too if you want.
Right here, we got to have our hamburgers. You brought them in. Carol just showed us. Go ahead. It's not Bundy Burger.
Carol Bundy's giving Eric Parker a hug.
Get in there, Roger. Get in there, Rick. Oh, come on. You're going to take the camera. You got to do it. That's right. You got to go. Andrea. Something good. The limo's here. Andrea. The limo's here. That hot pressure. I'm
Bailey Bundy, you're my discovery. I'm by discovery. So much. Okay, what happened to our prayer?
Okay, who's going to lead it?
Let's get a prayer.
You're the traditional leader of all great historic epic prayers.
Okay, everybody grab hands.
giant photo because I don't think we're going to have enough time to do it.
Yes.
Let's do it like that, a prayer.
Everybody, let's pray.
Everybody down.
This is a spiritual moment.
Lord God, I don't quite have the words, Lord. We're so grateful, Lord. Every day you got us through, you carried us, Lord. We're so appreciative, Lord, of your tender mercies every day. And Lord, I just want you to know that we're not going to stop. We're not going to be scared. We're not going to let them intimidate us. And we're going to continue on. In your holy name, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Thank you,
Freedom!
Freedom!
1, 2, 3.
Freedom!
1, 2, 3.
Freedom! Don't be sorry. You guys are awesome. It's been a long, hard road.
And we're grateful. So I think
I'll send that to you.
you better hand me the hamburgers when it starts. Yes.
All right. Can we get a picture of all 4 of you? Yeah, all 4 of you together, please. All 4 of you together, please.
Yes.
Amen.
Not Bundy Beef.
So you can throw that up and we'll get you a real good meal afterwards. Yes.
This goes across America right now.
Amen. This is a historic.
1, 2, 3. Freedom!
Oh my God.
Getting there. Getting there. Getting there. Get in there.
I would not let this girl out of my sight.
I can't have your head.
Getting there. Getting the picture.
Not the same. I can't see at home 18 months ago. People are bigger than us. Sorry. Oh, what a beautiful day. Oh my gosh.
Amen. Yeah. Amen.
Glory to God in the highest.
This is a blessed day.
Jesus.
Talk about contrast.
Love you guys.
You have no idea. When they opened the door and I seen all 4 of them walk out, my heart stopped.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I swear to God. I was sitting right there. I said, what?
They say they're going to try us.
11 to 1.
Oh, hey guys. 11 to 1.
11 to 1.
11 to 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
11-1, guys.
I knew it. I sent the motion. The lawyers didn't want to do it, so.
They were able to do everything. They did everything they could. They took everything away from us in there except God.
Amen.
Still failed.
That is right. Amen.
Eric, we need you to put your jury nullification back.
Officially nullified. The jury officially nullified.
Somebody tag me in a picture, please.
Well, no, I'm just saying. What the judge was saying is nullification. So, you know, it's 11-1.
Jury nullification, baby.
Yep.
John left later. We're also recording. John has been very teary-eyed himself.
They brought him Wendy's because I can't Bundy steaks now, but they have to throw this up so that they can have a Bundy steak. I said it's not Bundy beef, it's squares of beef.
Look at all these jury nullification shirts. We've got jury nullification shirts from everybody around here.
Any place that you can stand with a flag for the peach trees, I'm at 26.
You can hear that? Not only do I hear it, I feel the angels that come and they blows it.
You were able to hear it?
You was able to hear it in the courthouse? Not in the courthouse, in Prum.
In Prum.
Those are all little things, they're all people coming on here.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Yep.
So you guys, when you stand and you come, it means everything to them. It really means everything.
We're enlightening people for the next trial. We're telling them how important
Well, I'll be there tomorrow.
You want to tell them like you looks like you got no sun in a long time.
I'm feeling a hug myself.
From your hand.
Amazing attorney. Thank God.
They're home.
Everybody that's been
They're out.
You want to say anything to anybody at home? No, not yet. Okay. Yeah, yes.
Absolutely, we did it.
They couldn't have never did that. That was ridiculous.
It is so good to have you all out.
This is really takes the wind out of the sails. Some people will say they don't think that tier 1 people would shut down.
I think they shouldn't. I know that I was there, and I know that they didn't do anything. They didn't assault anybody. Nobody assaulted anybody that day. We were assaulted that day.
Right.
We were assaulted. People were assaulted every day until the day that we showed up, and then people stopped getting hurt. That was the day people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember you saying we were ready to be martyrs for this.
They weren't going to make us leave and not speak our minds, not even at the threat of death. They threatened our lives. They threatened everybody's life. And somebody had to stand up and say no.
And you refused to get down under the Jersey barrier. You said, why?
I honestly never thought that the Jersey barrier would have saved me. I thought that they would get through that regardless. I didn't think it would save me. No, there was officers up there on the overpass overlooking us. I thought that they could just shoot down the street from us. I thought, the NHP or anybody could have attacked us.
No, there's nobody there yet. You gotta
okay.
Oh, thank goodness. That's dirty, man. Just set me up like I didn't take the time to call her first. Oh, that would have been bad. I had to get somebody so close so I could call her, yeah.
Okay, good.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Let's go get your privacy, Steve. Good luck.
Hands up, don't shoot.
Guys, we got a limo down here that has come down here to pick up the guys and escort them to their homes where they're going to stay at the night. I understand Eric Parker and Scott Drexler will be in a halfway house tonight, but they got released to go to the halfway house, and they get released tomorrow to get picked up to go to this hearing we have tomorrow at the federal courthouse. Here's the group of people we have. We have lots and lots of police vehicles all around. That's just one of them back there with the lights on. And all 4 of these defendants got released today. And like Eric Parker was saying a while ago, the fight is not over yet, and he will be continuing to fight this fight. The prosecutors are adamant. They have said tonight in a statement that they plan on retrying Eric Parker on these 4 charges that the jurors were deadlocked on, and possibly Scott Drexler on those other 2 charges. We'll find out more about that tomorrow, but other than that, there were no guilty verdicts at all. We was not guilty on all 34 of the other charges. And these 4 guys have been released tonight. 2 of them are going to a halfway house, and the other 2 get to go home tonight and stay with people here in Las Vegas until they can get home to their families. It definitely was a miracle today for sure. Is
that right? Are you interested?
I see a message on here. It says. So looking at some messages here, but this again here is the limo that these guys are going to ride in just shortly. Somebody brought this limo over to give them a fitting ride out of this jail here in Henderson, Nevada, at the detention center over here. All these bags are their belongings that they've had off and on for the last 18 months. They've been held. They've been treated as guilty, and they've had to prove their innocence in 2 different trials here in Las Vegas. And today was a great miracle. We're just awesome for all the support and prayers that everybody has put forth. We'll come back over here and get some other pictures, but definitely everybody's been overjoyed down here.
I just gave him enough. I was just about intense. There was a little murky and fast.
Yeah, I'm just so emotional. It's just so good to see you.
Hey, listen, we're going to let you eat. I'm sure you're hungry by now. No, there's some tables over there if you want to sit down. And there's a limo's here for you. The limo's here for you.
I was looking for some grass to roll around.
There actually smells pretty good. There is some grass. People want some grass. Right around the shop.
There is, isn't there?
Yes. I'm so happy. Pig. I can thank you. I have to because of him, this happened. It wasn't anyone else. It wasn't the judge. It was our Heavenly Father touching him and his judge. And because of that, these men are standing out here hugging the people that love them the most. Great.
John's live stream.
There's Mo trying to live streaming me.
I'm live streaming John. John Lamb, what say you? Freedom.
Freedom.
And this is God's victory, isn't it?
It is.
This is not God's victory. Look at that. There's his angle. There's John's.
My phone's getting awful hot.
Mine too, and the batteries.
So if my phone goes dead here, guys, we will be back tomorrow for sure. My phone has been giving me a lot of problems again the last couple of days. All these live streams that we do, it just tears these phones up. But we're hanging in there. I know earlier today it just totally went out on me, and it was for about an hour. I couldn't even get on the phone. But They get awful hot doing these live streams.
Yes, they did. Yes, yep.
But again, we got a second miracle for the day.
You help him find some ID tomorrow.
What do we got to do?
He needs some ID.
He needs an ID, a picture ID. Yeah, we
Can't
can.
get a courtroom without an ID.
Perfect. Oh, we can help him with that.
We're gonna get you an ID.
Can we help them out with some gas money instead of plane tickets so that they can all just drive down here?
Yes.
Yeah, no problem.
Let us know what we got to do, and we'll put the word out. I don't know what you're needing, but let me know.
We got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to stay and watch the hearing, so yeah, if you guys want to wait till tomorrow morning and then drive up here, that'd be great.
So again, we've got a hearing tomorrow. A hearing tomorrow at 9:30. It's they're calling it a detention hearing for Eric Parker and Scott Drexler, but as we know, they're already released. So we'll find out exactly what these restrictions that they're going to try to put on them. If they're going to try to recharge them or retry them on these hung charges. But other than that, we will be there at the courthouse tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. in Las Vegas, Nevada. They will be leaving here just shortly. Everybody's just visiting here. It's been a long 18 months for these guys. So guys, I'll try to look at some of your messages here. I haven't really looked at any, but again, I'm down here at the detention center, and we're down here greeting these guys that just got found not guilty today, and all 4 of these defendants just got released, and 34 not guilty verdicts out of 40 charges. 34 not guilties. There were 6 hung charges that the jurors could not make a decision on, and those 6 charges are on 2 defendants, Eric Parker and Scott Drexler, and the government saying that they're going to try these guys again in a 3rd trial on those charges. So let's pray that the government doesn't do that. The government has lost severely. They have spent enough money, and these guys have went through enough of this false accusation from the federal government, and they have proven it again today. They didn't even let these guys testify or bring witnesses properly in their defense, and still the jurors seen through the lies. And we're thankful for that. It's just been awesome. Looking for any messages here shortly. I'm going to keep the live stream, try to keep it going until the limo leaves with these 4 guys. Somebody donated a limo and it showed up here.
Here comes
And
to take you guys back.
Back here on the other side, this big door is opening up. I'll turn it around and see what's happening here. Looks like a vehicle is trying to leave the detention center. One of the police vehicles here inside the detention center. And a while ago, those 4 defendants walked out and surprised us all. We didn't expect it at that time, and we didn't expect all 4 of them for sure. So that was another big miracle we had here tonight. We're all rejoicing down here. I know we're still in shock over it, but thankful for what happened, and we're still giving thanks to the one who actually answered our prayers, and that's the Heavenly Father today. So we're very thankful. So everybody's getting some pictures here before they leave. Looks like a bunch of cameras and pictures. We'll try to get this turned around.
Defendants in the middle. Hang on, I got it.
There we go.
Awesome.
Sorry, Joe. Oh, you're okay. You're okay.
Here's nice for you.
Just done it in Miami. The judge. Right?
High school joyous. High school joyous. High school joyous.
Turn around, I want to take a picture for Deb.
And joyous.
Huge, thank you. Okay.
Okay, all four of the guys right into our limo here. Thank you. I
gotta get my stuff.
Okay, we'll get it.
It's that bag right there, Mr.
Here, I'll get it, Andrew. I'll get it. Oh, you got it? Okay.
We can't wait till you're outside. Is there, can we put it in the back?
Do you want to give me an address? You can put it in the back.
No, we don't. Can we pop the trunk? Can you pop the trunk? There you go. I'll hand you.
Love your family, love your wife. I'm so glad to get to know.
That's you guys.
You sure lost all your privacy.
Here we go, Ricky!
Eric!
We love you guys! We love you!
How many people come out of one of these places and ride out? Not very often.
Scott!
All right.
Steven! Precious cargo! Steve! Are you going with us? Because we're getting in the limo!
Who's in the second limo? Andrea. I think you and Eric get a separate.
We all want to go together.
Okay.
Are all the bags going in here?
If possible.
Yeah.
Can somebody help him get the
Hey, can somebody help him with them bags?
Oh, his address right here, hon.
All the luggage right here.
Okay.
Right in the back, trunk.
Your limo has a ride.
Thank you, Roger. Thank you so much.
We put it all in the trunk. All your bags are in the trunk.
My hands are packed.
Okay.
Your bags are packed. Go.
Somebody's drink is here.
Pictures.
So Andrea's in there too. We'll get it. There's the guys. Okay, guys. See you later.
Enjoy the roll.
Okay, guys. So we got a limo. We got all four guys in there. We've got Eric Parker's wife, Andrea. She's in the limo. The limo's leaving. We do have two limos that showed up, but everybody decided to ride in the one limo. So we're going to sign off here shortly. And I'll try to have an administrator or somebody to go through some of these messages. I've seen a lot of them on there. And it's been an awesome day and an awesome night. And we'll try to get some of your messages answered here shortly. Try to figure out what everybody's, their questions are. But it's been a long day and it's been a great day. So we'll stay on just a few minutes longer as the limos pull out. We'll turn it back around here to follow the limo out.
Low, please, if you have the wind.
I got it.
Four guys that have been locked up for 18 months just got released today from jail.
Why were they locked up?
They were locked up for protesting at the Bundy Ranch. Yeah, for 18 months. They just got found not guilty today.
Right on.
Yes, so they're getting to go home.
Right on. 18 months.
18 months. A little over 18 months.
They put a lawsuit on these folks.
I know. I'm live streaming. Yeah, no, it's okay.
Excuse my language.
But yep, they're getting to go home. So.
For protesting at the Bundy.
Yep.
Wow. That just gave me the chills.
I know.
Volunteered you
Okay.
to get help them get their ID.
Okay, we'll start working on that right tonight.
Right, because can't get in.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I said, John knows how to do that.
We're going to get a picture of Shauna here.
Because I'm the volunteer for John.
She's volunteering me for some more work tonight.
That's right, that's right.
I'm going to be working till midnight now at least.
Me too. I got to do Ryan's job.
Yeah.
That's okay. You can see what's happening.
Shauna has been awesome. She's been doing so much down here behind the scenes. But we'll try to tell you sometime what she's been doing. There's been so many people that help out that their names never even get mentioned. Roger Roots is working day and night. Shauna Cox is working day and night. Thank you. Nobody wants him to leave. You can still see the limo hasn't left yet. The other one's empty,
Shauna.
Shauna.
Hamburgers, though, I noticed.
They are eating their hamburgers for sure.
And the fries.
I hope they get some better food than hamburger and fries.
Oh no, they're happy fries.
I've got a lot of messages, guys, to go through, from private messages to text messages on my phone. My phone voice message is plumb full, so we've got a lot of work to do. So hopefully, if I don't get back to you real quick. I know, Todd, we wish you was in that limo too. I wish Todd, I don't know, I'm sorry, I read it wrong. I wish Todd was in there too. I pray for Todd and justice to be done there. We don't want to forget Todd Engel. It's Todd's family, I think, that's answering messaging on there. They still don't want them to go yet. Everybody's still holding up the limo.
It is. It's iconic.
So who got in this first limo, John?
Thank you, Norsworthy, there for letting me know. I sometimes I misspell words and names and trying to read and talk and watch everything at the same time. But thank you.
Well, this sure beats the transport they arrived in, isn't it?
It does. It does. No more handcuffs.
No more shackles.
Todd, yes, Todd Engel is in Prump. We got a long road there helping fight
But
for his appeals.
He's got a good appeal.
He does. He's got a.
Olson has a good appeal. Great appeal, actually. Okay, we're going home. Ready?
See you later.
All right,
I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be down there. I'll be at the courthouse in the morning.
Yep, we'll be there too.
I'm on the side.
Oh, there's a lot.
Yes, he shows up at the
I'm one of the So Larry just said
There they go, guys. Here goes the limo. Well, I gotta say, guys, it's a lot fancier ride here than my van, so at least they don't have to ride in this one tonight.
Yeah, I'm doing a live feed of John doing a live feed. There we go. For some reason.
Yeah, the limo is for the 4 guys that just got released. All 4 were released there, Echo Lee. They went ahead and let Eric Parker, Scott Drexler, Stephen Stewart, and Ricky Loveland all out tonight. We do have court hearings tomorrow for Ricky Loveland, Scott Drexler, and and Eric Parker. So Scott Drexler and Eric Parker both have hearings tomorrow. It's been a long day.
Yeah,
I'm twisting up names, and we are tired down here for sure. The heat down here is
not that bad.
Has been hot. And a native here says it's not that bad. Yes, all 4 were released. Not guilty. I know, look at my van. It needs cleaned, but I put up a new sign today. I took the sign of Joe Robertson down, and I replaced it with this sign, Free Baby Home. It's a case that I've been following in Alabama, and hopefully I can get more information going again on their case. It's a sad deal that their child was taken away, and they have not gotten their child back, and it's been months since their child has been taken away from them wrongfully. But I took the Joe Robertson sign down. I am having people sign it. I'll be taking that sign back with me to Montana, and I'm going to be giving that sign back to Joe Robertson. And we're praying that he's going to be released here real soon. He had an appeals hearing, which has nothing to do with his release, but just is appealing the verdict and the trial there, that how when he was convicted in a second trial, not the first trial, but a second trial. It's like they're trying to tape some flags on the front of the limo here, or everybody's live streaming down here right now.
I'm live streaming you, live streaming me. You're going to be tagging everybody tonight.
I know, everybody want to be tagged. History was made today, guys. Eric Parker, Scott Drexler, Ricky Loveland, Stephen Stewart's all inside of this limo right now with Andrea Parker. And they are about to take off. It's a good good question there, Tal. It literally, Judge Navarro, she was in utter shock today. You could tell it on her face. She barely read out each verdict as it kept reading out not guilty. And as you can imagine, it seemed like hours taking and reading out those 40 verdicts, and 34 of them were not guilty. Hearing each one of those not guilty, each person just kept sobbing more and more in the courtroom and crying. And everyone kept their composure, holding it. I know Andrea was just barely holding it together, and she was just bent over crying. I don't know if she finished her verdict form or not before it was over with, but people were had their arms around Andrea, and she was just overwhelmed with all the not guilty verdicts today. There were 4 charges again that were hung on Eric Parker. So there was no verdict on those 4 charges, and the government wants to retry him on those 4 charges. The other 2 charges that were hung on were for Scott Drexler, and Scott Drexler, it looks like they might want to recharge him on those too, but they went ahead and let go all 4 defendants today. And I think Eric Parker and Scott Drexler are going to a halfway house. That's what I'm being understood for right now, until this hearing tomorrow determines exactly what they're allowed to do. And then, so we have a hearing at the federal courthouse tomorrow at 9:30 at Las Vegas Federal Courthouse. Again, 7th floor. Judge Gloria Navarro's, it's in her courtroom. And let's just pray next. Our next miracle we want is we want to see Judge Gloria Navarro removed from this whole case totally. Removed, recluse herself, and Harry Reid faced charges. Dan Love needs to face charges. And Jeff Sessions needs to step down for not doing his job. So them were just a few things that we're asking for. And there are motions in place to have Judge Gloria Navarro reclused, and also Steve Myrie and this prosecution team that fought for the last 18 months to bring false charges against all these men. They need to be looked into.
Hey, John. Hey, people out there.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Do you hear the rumblings? The rumblings of the kingdom to come. You ain't seen nothing yet. Miracle after miracle. God bless everybody.
So we're about to shut down this live stream in just a minute here. Just trying to follow this limo out. I gotta point it that away. Okay. I could turn it this way though.
Hi John. Hi guys. We're watching these guys take off in style. They deserve it.
They do.
Yeah, they have some wonderful drivers. Very friendly.
Well, this is awesome. They get to take off in the limo. Well, there's Stephen Stewart getting back inside. He's trying to escape already.
They've been fixing ready to leave for like a half hour, guys. So we could be here for an hour just waiting for them to leave. Oh, here they go. They're rolling off.
They got to turn that big rig around, I guess, and go out the other way.
Yeah, just like this one did. With all they've been through, guys, they deserve it.
Yeah.
Groupies at a concert, huh?
So cute. That is so cute.
Margaret's in charge. No, they're going to back up and go another way.
They're like, we got to get away from these
Everybody's
people.
trying to take off. I see strange people driving strange people's cars. You don't have no clue.
So what's the plan after this, John? What are we doing? Is everybody dispersing,
going home and meeting back at the courthouse tomorrow at 9:30. 9:30 is the hearing, but we got to be there early.
So I got to go tell her there are no plans.
So here's the convoy, guys. Everybody's leaving out. Here goes the limo with the not guilty guys leaving right now.
Crazy, wonderful day.
It is.
Who are them wacky
That's a perfect ending to a good day.
Yes.
So
Sit right here. You said put in your van.
Okay, guys, we're gonna end this. Thank you for joining us. Please read the comments and not guilty on all these guys here. Thank you for everything, your support and your prayers. We'll be back tomorrow at 9:30 at the courthouse with another update. Thanks again. Good night.
Bye, guys.
A jury in April deadlocked on charges against the 4 men. It convicted 2 other defendants on multiple counts. But it could not agree on conspiracy charges, a key component of the government's case against any of the 6. The government launched its second prosecution last month. The case climaxed August 11 when Navarro abruptly ended court by ordering Parker off the stand and striking his testimony from the record as jurors watched. The defendant was attempting to tell jurors what he saw during the standoff over a barrage of objections from prosecutors. Navarro ruled Parker violated court orders by discussing prohibited topics. Parker returned to the defense table and started crying while Navarro dismissed the jurors. Marchese said jurors told him Tuesday the incident was a factor in their verdicts. That weighed heavily in their decision, Marchese said. They wanted to hear him speak. It was very bothersome to them. They felt like they weren't getting the whole story. Marchese said jurors were sympathetic to the defendants and their inability to mount a cogent defense in light of restrictions that prevented them from talking about why they participated in the standoff and what they were thinking while they were there. It wasn't one thing, Marchese said about what led to their verdicts. They, jurors, said it didn't make sense. The case went to the jury Tuesday after lawyers for all four defendants waived closing arguments as part of a protest about court proceedings and restrictive legal rulings. The jurors knew our hands were tied, Pura said. By the time the government laid it all out for them, they had already made up their minds. They knew there was no reason for us to go farther. Pura said the government's string of witnesses, largely composed of local, state and federal law enforcement officers, became both repetitive and contradictory, according to jurors. They were bored to death, Pura said. Judges' restrictions on the defense. Navarro's rulings, aimed at trying to avoid jury nullification, severely limited defense arguments. Jury nullification occurs when a jury returns a verdict based on its shared belief rather than on the evidence in a case. Navarro barred defendants from discussing why they traveled thousands of miles to join protesters at the Bundy Ranch. She did not allow them to testify about perceived abuses by federal authorities during the cattle roundup that might have motivated them to participate. Navarro also restricted defendants from raising constitutional arguments, or mounting any defense based on their First Amendment rights to free speech and their Second Amendment rights to bear arms. In her rulings, Navarro said those were not applicable arguments in the case. Federal officials did not face the same restrictions. To show defendants were part of a conspiracy, they referenced events that happened months, or years, after the standoff. Federal prosecutors, led by acting Nevada U.S. Attorney Stephen Myra, argued in court the case wasn't about the First or Second Amendments, that the Constitution doesn't give people the right to threaten federal officers. They said the Bundys' dispute with the BLM was adjudicated and the court issued a lawful order to round up the cattle. When ranchers and the militia conspired to force the release of the cattle, they broke the law, prosecutors argued. Battle over federal land use. The Bundy Ranch standoff is one of the most high-profile land use cases in modern Western history, pitting cattle ranchers, anti-government protesters, and militia members against the Bureau of Land Management. For decades, the BLM repeatedly ordered Bundy to remove his cattle from federal lands and in 2014 obtained a court order to seize his cattle as payment for more than $1 million in unpaid grazing fees. Hundreds of supporters from every state in the Union, including members of several militia groups, converged on his ranch about 70 miles north of Las Vegas. The standoff was hailed as a victory by militia members. Cliven Bundy's sons, Ammon and Ryan Bundy, cited their success at Bundy Ranch in their run-up to the siege of an Oregon wildlife refuge in 2016, also in protest of BLM policies. An Oregon federal jury acquitted Ammon, Ryan, and 5 others in October. No arrests were made in the Bundy Ranch case until after the Oregon siege ended. Last year, the government charged 19 people for their roles in the Nevada standoff. 2 men took plea deals. Trials for the remaining defendants were broken into 3 tiers based on their alleged levels of culpability in the standoff. Although defendants in the first trial and the retrial were considered the least culpable, all 17 defendants face the same charges. Those convicted could spend the rest of their lives in prison. The second trial will include Cliven Bundy and his sons, Ammon and Ryan Bundy, who are considered ringleaders. Weapons charges outstanding. All 4 defendants in the retrial admitted bringing guns to the standoff. But pictures of Parker and Drexler aiming their weapons went viral. An image of Parker has come to epitomize the 2014 protest. He is pictured lying prone on an overpass and sighting a long rifle at BLM agents in the wash below. The image galvanized the public and brought international awareness to the feud over public lands and the potential consequences of such a dispute. Drexler took the stand and delivered the only defense testimony that jurors were allowed to consider. He testified that even though he brought weapons to the standoff, he had no intention of threatening or assaulting law enforcement officers. Marchese said if the government decides to retry Parker and Drexler on the outstanding charges, it will likely be after all the standoff trials are concluded. For now, Parker plans on returning to Idaho and to go back to work as an electrician. Marchese said despite the unresolved charges, he and his client are satisfied with the outcome. Any not guilties are always good, right? He said.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but they cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts, 4 hours a day, and to save America. You know, but at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So, but getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon, which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal. And there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. Is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just letting you guys know it's, yeah, that dream. Everybody gives $1. 53,000 subscribers, it's not working. So yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know, what, we're already debt free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself. 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, we have cell phones, we have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know too, now we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So if you can give more than that dream of everybody giving $1, yeah, that old video, that's not working. They're not, they're just not. So anyways, if you can give more than that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that, that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now, where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran on, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran on no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But, so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month. If you can, I appreciate anything. By the way, remember too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But, and there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way, what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it, but it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So that case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know that $1 a month from everybody is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.